this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me today, pressing play on the video. My tutorial today is we're going to make this little card here. It was my niece's birthday a couple of days ago, 21st birthday, so quite special. I knew I wanted to make a card with a 21 on it, and this is what I came up with. Again, my signature style. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that my style is very clean and simple. I don't like things with a, for me, less is always more on a card. I like very clean, simple design, and this one fits the bill perfectly. This is the one I made for my niece. You can see I've actually used a computer to print the message because I wanted to personalise it. So I haven't stamped on this one, but you could very easily, I was going to, on this demonstration, I was going to use the happy birthday from the number of years set, the same set as the numbers come from, but then my neighbour asked me, I showed her this card and she said, oh, would I make the same design for her dad who's going to be 70. So today I'm going to show you how to make this card, but I'm going to make a 70th birthday card for a man. I think the design is actually equally unisex. It's not really girly or male, so I think it fits the bill. So what are we going to do? Let's have a look. First of all, we need a card blank. I'm using our thicker Whisper White card stock, which is lovely to make your own card blanks. I've taken an A4 sheet and cut a strip off here so that this measures 14 centimeters or 5.5 inches. This side measures 28 centimeters or 11 inches, and I've scored right in the middle, so at 5.5 inches or 14 centimeters. And then all I need to do is to fold that over and burnish it with my bone folder to get a nice crisp joint, and then you've got your own square card blank, which square cards seem to be quite trendy at the moment. I've made the panel already because, again, I wanted to print a personalised message rather than just stamping happy birthday. So I've made this panel, printed this on my computer. The font that I've used is called Hayseed, if anybody wants to copy it. And this panel measures 13 centimetres all the way around, or 5 inches, and that will fit perfectly on there. But before I glue it on, we need to do a little bit of die cutting and embossing for all the elements of the card. So without further ado, I'm going to get my Big Shot out. As I've said before on my videos, this is not a new Big Shot. This is a very, very old Big Shot, one of the first ones that came out, I think, so it's a different colour to the current ones. I will eventually treat myself to a new one from Stampin' Up, but at the moment this one does the job perfectly. I'm going to use my magnetic platform, and then I've got one of the cutting plates on here. I'm going to put the flattest one on there so that the magnetic force will work better, and then I'm going to take a piece of Whisper White, another piece of Whisper White. I've got a mark on it, to be all right, and a piece of our gold foil card, and I'm going to place them on there. And then I'm going to use our layering circle framelets, which are here. Sorry, they're a bit close to the camera. And the ones we need to use are the largest scallop circle and the second largest plain circle. So that's going to go on there. And I'm going to make sure this piece of card only just fits because it's the piece of the offcut from the card blank, actually. Piece from the offcut. And then this bit is going to go on here. And I'm just going to run them through my Big Shot. Like so. Oops. Moving my backing sheet around there. Let's glue that back down. Okay, so I've got my two elements that I need there, my circle and my white layer. I then need a piece of our gold glimmer paper, and we need the numbers, and I need, like I said, I need 70 for this. This is the number of years stamp set. Like I said, I've taken the happy birthday from there, and you could easily use that with this set. but I chose to print mine on the computer because I want a personalised message. I'm going to take, I keep my dies in with the set so that I've always got them together. And I'm going to take the 7 and the 0, put that on my glimmer card. And again, the magnets will hold it in place, making sure they don't move, and make sure I make most economical use of my glimmer card. Don't want to waste a little bit because I'm a thrifty crafter, if nothing else. There we go. That goes through there. And we've got the 70 cut out, hopefully. Oops. Take that out. There we go. It comes out quite easily. There's my 0 and here's my 7. Okay, right, I can put them to one side. And then the last thing I need to do with my big shot before I put my big shot away is I need to emboss a piece of card, because if you look at my original, don't know if you can see that very well on the camera, but I just put a little emboss strip just to give a little bit more interest across the middle. And I've got my piece here. This piece measures 3.5 centimetres by 14 centimetres, or 1.25 inches by 5.5 inches. And I'm going to have to change my platform, because I need my adaptable platform, because I don't need quite such a thick platform if I'm doing embossing, so I don't need that bit. Sorry, I'm trying to work around my tripod here, which is a bit difficult sometimes. There we go. And this folder I'm using, I've used it lots before. This is the Softly Falling, which is lovely. I love it. And I just put the card right at the end here where there are more dots. The dots are more dense than in the other parts of the folder. Just put that in there and scooch that through the big shot again. There we go. And I might just run it back through that way. And that's all the big shot embossing and die cutting that we need to do today. So I'm just going to get rid of the big shot off here, because it's a bit big, taking over all the camera space. There we go. Okay, so I've now got that strip of card ready to go on my card. So I've got my card blank, my panel, my embossed strip, my gold scallop circle, my white normal circle, and my numbers there. Okay, so that's all going to come together. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to glue this panel onto the this strip onto the panel. Okay, I'm going to do it before I glue the panel down, because I want to be able to trim the edges exactly neatly against them. So I'm going to use Tombow glue. As you know, I like Tombow glue because it gives you a bit of wiggle. When you stick something down, you don't need to worry about getting it placed right from the start, because it will allow you to move it a little bit. So if I bring in my original here, you can see I'm just going to line it up roughly with where I put it on that panel. So about there. I think it's about 3.5 centimetres from the top of the card. And put that on there, glue that down, and then I'm going to bring in my paper snips and turn it over, and using the side of the card to press the blade of the scissors against, you can cut and get a very clean edge without any overlap. And I think, you know, all those little tips make cards look very professional. Even though they're homemade, handmade, there's no need for them not to look professional and give them a good finish. There we are. So that's ready to be glued on here. So again, in comes my Tombow, my favourite ever glue. And if you see, I don't glue too near to the sides, because what happens sometimes is the glue squidges out. So I tend to not put it too near the sides, because when it presses down, it will squeeze out to those sides. Right, let's get this the right way up. And we're going to press it down like that. Okay. I'm then going to glue my white circle to my foil, and I've just remembered, hold that thought for 1 second, I've left my tear and tape outside. Sorry about that. Forgot that I was going to need tear and tape because the foil isn't porous. If you use Tombow glue, I have a feeling that eventually the white panel would peel off because there's nothing porous for it to grab onto. So the tear and tape will do a perfect job because that doesn't need a porous surface. Can't get my words out today. I'm going to do it like this on this side. So there we go. So just 3 little bits of tear and tape will do it. You don't need loads, just to hold that down and tack that down. It's very strong, this stuff, so 3 little bits will do it. And then in come my trusty tweezers to just get the backing off there because I've got no nails. There we go. Some of you know that I'm actually a quiller. I do a lot of quilling, which is fiddling around with long strips of paper, making shapes, and these are quilling tweezers, which I use all the time, and they've now crossed over into my Stampin' Up life as well. Okay, so I'm going to put that on there. Centre it. Again, we won't get wiggle room this time, so we need to get it right first time. That's perfect. Okay, now my 70. I'm going to raise this up on dimensionals. Don't know if you can see on my original card. I don't know how much you can see there, but I've raised these numbers up on dimensionals, and I've also raised this panel up on dimensionals. So I've got the mini dimensionals today, which are great because they're smaller, they go further. You don't ever need those great big ones, so I use these little ones all the time at the moment. And so just a few dimensionals, one there, and if you've got a big space, you've got a space where they still are too big, you can always go in and snip them in half, so you can use half a dimensional, which again makes it very economical to use these. They're very good value, and I love them. I love the shape of them. They're just a bit quirky. So that's the 70 with the dimensionals on. Let's do the same with the 0. So one there, one there. Oh, that backing's come off already. One there, one there, one there, and one there. Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to line this up on here. Oh, not 07, 007. Okay, we're going to line that up on there like that. Okay, and then I'm going to use my tweezers. Off come the backing of the dimensionals. If you've got nails, you can do this really easily, but my nails are so pathetic, and actually they're not very strong either, so if I use them too much for crafting, they will break anyway, so I tend to use tweezers all the time. It's the one crafting tool I use that isn't Stampin' Up. They don't do tweezers. There we go. There's my 7, and then we're going to do the same with the 0. So this is quite a quick card to make. You can see it hasn't taken us ages to do this, and I think it's very effective, and I think anyone would be delighted to receive a card like this, especially if you're going to personalise it by printing the message. You could also always use one of the Stampin' Up alphabets, but I don't have. I think there's a small alphabet, I can't remember what it's called now, but I don't have any of those, so I have the big letters for you, which would be far too big. Okay, there's our 70. So last step, got to stick that on there. So again, I'm going to come back in with some dimensionals. There we go. Let's get quite a few around here. One in the middle for luck. Take the backing off them all. This video is actually going to be on my blog for the birthday blog hop that the Pootlas team do once a month, the month of August, and because my niece is 21 in August, I thought it was very appropriate to do this video for that. Okay, there we are. Okay, we've got dimensionals on there, and all that's left to do is to place that very carefully on there. There we go. And then last of all, as you can see, I just randomly put 2 or 3 rhinestones just to add a little bit more interest. So if I come back in with my rhinestones, I just put, I think I put a medium-sized one and a smaller one randomly at the top here, and one of the bigger ones at the bottom ish here. There we go. Okay, and there's my card. Happy 70th birthday, Dad, which goes alongside happy 21st birthday, Jennifer. Okay, I hope you like my project today. Very quick and easy, very clean and simple design, but I love it. I'll just show you, I'll just move that one away for the moment. For Jennifer's birthday, I bought her some earrings, and they came in a very ordinary, I don't know if you can see in there, very ordinary organza bag, and I wanted to pretty it up a bit. So this is the packaging that I made. I'm going to do another video to show you how I made this, but the matching tag, the matching decoration on the present. I also bought her a book which I wrapped up in wrapping paper and then made a tag which also coordinates with these, so she's got 3 little things that all coordinate together. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.